So hello there and welcome back to the channel. This is Mel's Gaming here with another Way of the Hunter video. Now in this video I'm going to be showing you how to unlock the Skye Gavi Wonder Bow, one of the new compound bows that was added to the game with Tikamoon planes. Now you can only get this bow if you do own Tikamoon planes, because you do actually have to get it through doing some missions. Now in order to be able to do the missions you do need to make sure you are playing in story mode, as that is the only place you can do missions now. You can't do them in free hunt, you have to be in story mode. Now it's this particular landowner that we need to go and visit to be able to do the missions to unlock this bow. It is the owner of the Rapturous Refuge private area on Tikamoon Plains. So you will also unlock this private part of the reserve by doing these missions, as well as getting the bow. So if you don't want to pay the price to actually purchase the pass for this particular private section of land, then you can do these missions and you'll get the bow as well for doing them, as well as then being able to hunt on this particular piece of land. So we're going to go into his cabin and read the first mission. So it says, Visitors of Wonderwall, you are invited to participate in Bowdown, the most respectable bow hunting competition in this region. Hunters from all over the world gather here to prove their ability, win a huge cash prize, along with a nice looking exclusive bow, and last but not least, gain exclusive access to my private hunting area. Why bows, you may ask? As a huge music fan and a guitar player myself, I find bows the closest hunting weapon to resemble a musical instrument. Bows even have strings, you know, and strings tend to break at the most inappropriate moments, like in the middle of tracking or a gig. Well, let's hope you're luckier than me in this regard, hunters. Bowdown's first round is qualification. We don't want any amateurs in the main round, so to prove you are capable and patient enough, I'm directing you to a near hunting stand. I adore the spot because of the herds of majestic blue wildebeest getting their fill over there all the time, and you are going to learn to love it too. Finally, a piece of advice for the non-locals who participate for the first time. Animals here are different from the animals in America and Europe, so study their anatomy properly, and as my wife always tells me, aim lower. Noah Regalag, Wonderwall's owner. Now I'm not sure I'm pronouncing his second name correctly, but that is the name of the landowner for this piece of land and of course the bow. So we've gone now to the particular hunting stand that is highlighted on the map, and you can see the mission says harvest a blue wildebeest shot with a bow from the stand highlighted on the hunting map. There is a little glowing sort of beacon on the map that is pulsating, so you'll be able to find this location really easily, and then all you have to do is actually take a blue wildebeest from this stand with a bow. Now the easiest way I found to do this is to actually arrive here just before blue wildebeest drink time. So I got here about 8:30, and then a herd slowly wandered towards the water as they do actually drink here, and then I was just able to do a little bit of calling just to get this particular male into bow range, and I was able to drop him there with the bow. So if you're trying to do this mission, I advise arriving at this spot between 8 and 8:30 and then just wait for the herds to show up. If you've got the antler rattler caller, that will really help to get them just a little bit closer, but if not, you might be able to get a shot anyway, just depending on where the herds actually go. And yeah, they should just come straight in. That's what worked best for me, and this was a really quick and easy mission to actually complete. And as you can see, we took out a 1-star mature, so that's also really good in terms of herd management. And you can see the bow did a fantastic job there, tons and tons of penetration, and it dropped this guy on the spot, which is exactly what we're looking for. A 36.75% 1-star mature, perfect animal to actually take out for this mission. As I said, it does help with the herd management as well, and that's exactly all we needed to do for this mission. This one is really easy to complete. I did actually try to arrive at this spot at blue wildebeest drink time, and there was a herd of blue wildebeest drinking, but they saw me as I was climbing into the stand. So that's why I recommend arriving before them and then actually sitting in the stand and waiting for them to actually come to you, rather than trying to sneak in when they're already there. So stand by me, that mission is completed, and all we now need to do is then fast travel back over to the landowner's cabin and get the next mission. As you'll see, there is now the little icon to say that there is a mission here again. It doesn't actually tell you to go and get the next mission, but you can see that it's actually there and available when you open the map. So once again, picking up the mission off of the table, and it says, congratulations on passing Bow Down's qualification round, hunters. Now the main round begins. I've been wondering for a long time what abilities make a good hunter. Some competitors possess a good eye, while others, like me, have a good ear. Then some just don't, so they have to drill their tracking, stepping, and shooting routines to perfection. I also heard of people who are synesthetic and rely on their sixth hunter sense, but I have no way of confirming it. To win in this round, you will have to sharpen your senses to the max. The first 2 hunters to harvest a large enough greater KUDU will proceed to the final round and compete for the prize. It is not important where and how you do it, as long as you use a bow. I believe music is universal. Any person can learn to sing and play. But if you want to reach for the heights, you may be limited by your natural talent. Same with hunting. I believe anyone can learn to hunt, but only those of you who have a gift will proceed to the final. Or, as my wife says, many animals have horns, but it's not like they know how to play them. Noah Regalag, Wonderwall's owner. Now, like I said, again, not sure I'm pronouncing his name correctly, that's going to be a theme throughout this video. But, so we now need to harvest a big enough greater KUDU. And the mission itself actually says, harvest a male greater KUDU that weighs 250 kg or more using a bow. Well, I had this 3-star mature greater KUDU bull here, who I figured should be perfect to actually complete this mission. Managed to drop him there with the bow, and I was pretty sure that he should be heavy enough. I was thinking a 3-star mature should be decent weight as well, and I found that the 3-star matures don't tend to make 5-star. I haven't seen a 3-star mature KUDU make 5-star yet. It's probably possible, but when this herd has produced multiple 4-stars and 5-stars, I figured a 3-star mature would be a decent one to actually take out in terms of herd management also, so this was my target animal. And as you will see, the arrow did a perfect job there, so much penetration from this bow using the Skye Vortex switch, and just did a perfect job, and as you will have seen, absolutely dropped this bull on the spot. Now, taking a look at the weight, he is 308.73 kg, so I imagine any 3-star mature greater KUDU is going to be around that weight and should be more than enough to actually pass this mission. Now, obviously the star rating itself doesn't matter, but I was just really looking for a decently old mature bull, knowing that the older animals should be heavier, so that's what I would advise doing, is just look for a decently old looking mature bull. 2 stars, 3 stars, anything like that, just a decently old mature animal that should then be heavy enough. Now we can see that this 3-star was more than heavy enough, so that's perfect. He was also a 72% on the genetics, so a good one to take out in terms of herd management. Like I said, this particular herd has produced many 5-stars already, so it's a good one to take out from this particular population. Now, once again, we need to fast travel back to the landowner's cabin and get the next mission, which is sitting on the table. Now, this one reads, Dear River and Malachi, congratulations are in order to Bow Down's finalists. You two are fine huntsmen, exemplifying what bow hunting is all about, patience and precision. Well, it is not like these virtues are any less important in other hunting disciplines, but you know what I mean. Now, this is the ultimate battle, or dance of the strings as I call it. This is a showdown between the American and the African ways of hunting. A young man versus a veteran. 2 family traditions collide in this final challenge. I ask the finalists to hunt for 2 birds. One is supposed to be shot down when it is flying, and the other is supposed to be shot when it is down on the ground. How can I check who does it first, you may ask? Well, don't underestimate my sources and all the cameras I have set up in the region. This is just like that band competition I once performed in, and let me tell you, my air guitar skills were no less impressive than my physical stroking ability. In the final, I was up against my brother Liam, who is a decent singer, I admit, but can't play any instruments, so it turned out to be quite a heated battle, and the result? I will leave it to your imagination. Noah Regalag, Wonderwall's owner. So, an interesting final mission. It's called Half the World Away. The first objective is to harvest an Egyptian goose shot with the bow as the bird was flying. So the easiest way I found to do this was just find a flock of Egyptian geese over by the big lake on the right hand side, and just try and drive around until you could get underneath them or in front of them, and then just throw as many arrows at the flock as you could. It took me, I think, 5 or 6 attempts, and then finally I managed to actually hit one out of the flock. It's really not as challenging as it actually sounds. I know it's really intimidating, because when I saw that come up as a mission, I thought I was going to be here for hours. But if you can just get a flock like that and just drive around and get underneath them, in front of them, behind them, whatever you're most comfortable with, and then just throw some arrows at them, eventually you should end up hitting one. As you'll see, eventually I did actually manage to do it. Like I said, it took me 5 or 6 attempts, but it really was nowhere near as long as I thought it was actually going to be. It was actually a lot easier than you would probably think. Don't worry too much about focusing on one particular bird in the flock. Don't try and sort of pick a target too much. That's how I found easiest to do. And I wasn't using the hunter sense or anything. You could use hunter sense as well to help you a little bit, but I just found it easiest to just throw a few arrows their way and wait until one hit, and eventually managed to get it done. It must have only taken me maybe 5 minutes, and then finally got one out of the air. And then the next part of the mission is to harvest a helmeted guinea fowl shot with the bow as the bird was on the ground. Now, in this one, I was a lot more selective. I wasn't just yeeting random arrows into a flock and just hoping to hit one. This time, I actually selected a particular individual out of this flock, and this was a 1-star mature. Now, once again, this is in a spot that's produced a lot of 5 stars for me, so this is a really good one to actually take out. And you can get really close to these birds really, really easily. All you have to do is just walk slowly towards them, and you can get very, very close very, very easily and get a nice, clean, easy shot just like I did just there. Now, I've had most success finding these guys in the savannah areas. This one I actually shot in the Rapturous Refuge, same as with the KUDU, just because it was nice and close, so easy to go and get those animals for this particular set of missions. But obviously, if you are doing these missions to unlock this area, then you'll have to go and find them elsewhere. But that's the areas where I found them, where it says savannah on the map. That's where I've been finding them. And if you drive around, eventually you should find a flock of them, and even if you spook them with the vehicle, you can just watch and see where they land and then just approach them. That's basically what I do normally when I'm hunting these guys, is just flush them up with the vehicle, then I know that they're there, spot them, and then just walk over to where they are and then spot them. So that gets that mission completed, and we get told to check back at the landowner's cabin. And you can see where I was in the Rapturous Refuge if you do already have the hunting area unlocked and are doing these missions to get the bow. So now we have a note that says thank you. Dear Malachi, let me congratulate you on this incredible achievement. I don't want to diminish it, but your competitor River from the States had some family business to attend to and couldn't fully dedicate himself to the job. Still, your performance was incredible. You were like a rock star on the stage of a huge festival. Outsiders often judge hunters by their trophies and ignore the work behind the scenes, or should I say, behind the bushes. But that was your moment to shine. Let me reward you with an exclusive bow and some cash as well. You now also have full access to my private hunting space in Wonderwall. Feel free to not only use bows, but any other weapons you prefer. Noah Regalag. So that's all of the missions to get the Skye Gavi Wonderbow, and also to unlock the pass for the Rapturous Refuge hunting area if you haven't already purchased the pass that you can just purchase from the store in order to get access to this private hunting land. It's really worth getting access to this private land. It is really fantastic for kudu, for buffalo, for guineafowl, and there's also some gemsbok up in this area as well. So it's a really good area to get access to, and I've had a lot of 5 stars out of this private hunting area. But taking a look at the bow, it's a tier 1 to 4, so it's going to be more useful for your smaller game. Obviously, you're not going to be wanting to try and take tier 6 animals with it, but it's a really nice, different looking bow to the other bows that are actually in the game. It's definitely a worthwhile thing, I would say, to get, especially if you want to bow hunt some more of the smaller stuff. I normally just tend to use the Skye Vortex switch, but it is nice to have this as an option for smaller game as well. It's also got the different fletchings on the arrows, It's just a nice different reward, I think, to actually be able to get, and perfect if you are looking to bow hunt those tier 1s, as no other bow actually does cover tier 1, so it's a useful bow to get if you are wanting to be able to do that and to hunt those and get a little bit more cash reward and stuff from harvesting those tier 1 animals. So a nice reward to actually get for completing those missions, and as mentioned, you do get the pass to that private hunting area as well, so a really worthwhile set of missions to do if you haven't done them already, plus you get some cash for doing it too, so really very rewarding missions. And honestly, just don't be intimidated by seeing things like harvest a bird while it's flying in the air, because like I said, that really didn't take me very many attempts, and I know it's gonna look intimidating when it pops up, because that was the first thing that came to my mind, was how long is this gonna take. But just don't worry too much, just throw a few arrows towards a few flocks of birds and eventually you should hit one of those geese. But that is going to be it for this video. I really hope you have enjoyed it and that hopefully it's been helpful. Any questions, please leave them down in the comments and I will do my best to answer them. But that is going to be it for this one, so thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.